One. Hello! Whoa, hey, hi everybody! Welcome to Utechpia! Today we're checking out a gimbal. Let's check this out, and it's live. You see that action right there? We are
Oh
live
yeah, I see
and
that
we are
action. You
in
must be
action.
happy to see me.
Yeah, this is my extra arm. You see this? I can move this around. Look at this, look at this. Look how awesome this is. And I'm tethered, and I'm getting live footage. And I love this device because this little extra thing here, it's called the Z-axis. You see, it adds one extra axis of stabilization in my motion because if I run, for example, you see how it absorbs all the motion? Look at this. My camera is stable. That's the live footage. Isn't that awesome? You see how the Z-axis kind of helps stabilizes everything? Dude, why are you laughing? This is so freaking awesome. Anyway.
This is totally your midlife workout right there.
This is my workout. But anyway, guys, welcome to Utechpia. And actually, we're in Pixel Stabbers today. So we're talking about camera gear. So welcome to Pixel Stabbers. My name is David. Right there is Jeremy Chan. We are going to talk to you about this little handle right here, right? So let me actually pull that down so you can see the comparison right now. So you see, there's two handles for us to talk about. There's a cheap one, which is 80 bucks, and this one, okay, just in case you don't want to watch this whole video, this I would not recommend the $80 one. I'm gonna set it up and show you how bad it is. But this one for $180, same brand, digital photo, is so much better. This one is so good, guys. This is the Ares Z-Axis. I totally recommend this. In fact, I bought it myself with my very own money. In fact, you can see right here, I purchased this way back on March 27, 2019 to do an actual photo shoot. And it was a fantastic, fantastic device.
Just for the last year.
Yeah, I bought it more than a year ago and I actually used it a lot. And I use it with my DJI Ronin S, with my Canon M50 camera, and it is so good. Actually, we should talk about the camera and the lens that I use later. But so my setup and how I shoot this, let me show you that real quick here. So this is obviously, if you hold this and continuously hold this for the whole entire day, you can imagine it kind of works your arm a little bit, right? Even though you're running, balancing.
The tricep would be
yes. So I'll tell you a feature about this handle. This handle works really well, obviously. And see, when you want to put it down on the table, the handle doesn't get in the way because DJI Ronin S has these stands. You just put it down and the handle is just on the side. Now, if you don't want to use the handle, you can just use the gimbal as if the handle wasn't attached, you see? And in this hand position, you can still access the button here. This button resets and recentralizes and also rotates. Like, you know, the double tap turns the camera around. Oh, hang on, why is it not double tapping? Oh, there it is. So the double tap goes into selfie mode, right? And then the double tap again goes back into normal mode. So this button is very important to access. Now, when I was using this handle, I could not. You see how this handle, the attachment point right here, is very thick? So when I tried to attach it here, it took up my whole grip. So I didn't have this place to put my hand and double tap this button because this button is really important to be able to turn the camera around. Or like when you're off center like this and you want to reset it, double tap it, boom, goes back to normal. That's because I have this access to this button. And now you see it's pointing at the ceiling. I can double tap this button right here and it goes back to normal height. So this button is really important for gimbal access. And you see how the Ares handle here? It's really nice because it's small. And now I have my whole hand here to grip and then be able to push this button. Whereas if I put this Z handle on here, you see how this is so thick? This part right here, so thick that once you install it, it goes up to here and there's like no room for me to really hold the handle and push this button. So, and also this is huge. This is a much bigger Z handle versus this one. It's just much smaller. And between the two, which one do you think actually looks better, Jeremy?
I like the red one. Why do you think I put my face on that?
Exactly. The one on the right just works so much better. It looks so much better. And look, I mean, everything about it is higher quality. You see the springs are hidden. They're inside, but they look so nice. Compared to this one, you have big, ugly springs, right? I mean, this is definitely a cheaper item, $80 if you're just gonna do one shoot. Oh, I
So
also
let me clarify.
yeah.
It still works, right? It's just the way that it's
Yes.
just too big that avoid you to do the button, but it's still
Yeah.
stabilized.
It's still
as well.
stabilized.
So
Yes.
it's still functional. So if someone don't need that to access that button and get that, it still work.
Yes, you're right. It
Okay.
stabilizes.
Yeah, you can be clear about that.
Yes, it works. It works. I mean, it's a product that sells, and it's by Digital Photo because it's a brand that I also trust because they sell LED lights, they sell Gimbal Accessory, and it's a good design. It's just very cost effective. Everything is made out of plastic. This is very. It's not even good plastic. I hate to say this because I love the brand so much. In fact, I'm endorsing the brand with their Z-axis, their Aries Z-axis handle. Same brand, but it's made of metal parts. Everything is metal, and it's like very fine machine, right? So when you look at the cheaper one, this is a DH04. It's plastic, and it's not even the good kind of plastic. I can feel it's hollow inside. And even the handle grip, you don't have the nice rubber grip to it, right? Whereas this one, you have the nice rubber grip. I really like the rubber grip because you're holding this the whole day. The rubber grip feels good. It feels really solid. So rubber grip is important. What else? What else can we talk about the difference between the two, Jeremy? I mean, you can look at the picture, right? You can see the difference. The size is a big difference. The quality of the material, it's plastic.
Are those some kind of turn locks on, on the handle?
Very, very good point, okay? Because you can see on this one, to actually lock it, there's 4 screws. I have to screw, let me see if I can focus. You have to screw 4 of them, and I actually have to balance them all to make sure that it's tightened and evenly, because if it's not all evenly tightened, this thing is going to tilt, right?
Yeah.
So that is an inconvenient. Now look at this one. This one is just one knob.
Yeah, that's
and
what I'm talking about.
You screw this, if I can focus it, you screw it in, and you see, I don't know if this angle shows it. Oh, maybe if I hold this upside down.
It has
right
a
here.
clamp.
Yeah, it has a clamp. Let me see if I hide my face. It focuses. I can hide right there. So you see how it pushes down, and this clamp just sees this gimbal. It works so well, and you can't really mess up because it's one adjustment screw, and you tighten it in, and it works. Whereas with the other one, you see how you have 4 bolts to kind of mess around with. It's just a lot of work to get it to work nicely. So very good point. The tighten and adjustments to even attach it to the gimbal is more work on the DH04 versus the Aries Z. Adjustments are the same. You have these 2 knobs. You have these 2 knobs here to change the adjustments of the springs. Same with this one. You have the 2 knobs right here. If you can see my pinky. And you can use these to adjust the springs. Wow! So adjustments are the same, but in terms of build quality, the Aries Z wins. In terms of the clamping mechanisms, makes it easy to clamp, the Aries Z wins. In terms of material, plastic versus metal on the Aries Z, the Aries Z wins. But functionality-wise, before I say that, noise. How it sounds when you're using it. These are spring-operated things. This one actually squeaks and rattles when you're moving around. Whereas this one is built really well, and nothing rattles when you're using it. It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. And when you're recording video, sound matters. Now, if you're recording just footage, if you're only recording footage and you're expecting to get the video in other ways, then it doesn't matter. But seriously, for $100 more, I would not recommend getting the DH04. I would rather spend another $100 and get this one This is the Aris Z axis.
On the thumbnail pictures on the left side of the handle,
Yeah.
on both of them, they have a little metal
Yeah.
sticking out. What is that?
You know what? I don't know. I actually didn't
Doesn't count.
install. I didn't install that part. I have it here, but I never installed it.
I bet it's like some kind of extension attachment for attach something else onto it,
Yeah, it is.
like
But
a
it's,
mic or LED, whatnot kind of thing.
I mean, okay, so this is the manufacturing cover, right?
Nice box.
You see, yeah,
Yeah.
and they don't use it here, right? And then you look in the back, even the way they set it up, I don't see them using it. I mean, this is as close as I see them using it, but in this one, you see, in this one right here, they're using attachments, but they're not using a little piece. So I really don't know what that
So
piece is for.
I see some of the picture. When do you use the way you use it, and when are you going to use it upside down?
When am I going to use it upside down? So is there one in here where I'm using? Yes. Okay. Perfect. Good. Very good question. And right here, you can see what Jeremy is talking about. Upside down and then upright. Right? So basically, upside down, you want to do this when you're using the gimbal, if I can focus. When you're using the gimbal in low hung mode, right? When you want to get like footage down low. Why is it not focusing today? There you go. You want to get footage down low, you want to change the gimbal into this mode. And if you want to get footage on top, you use this one. But honestly, I don't even change the handles. You know why? Because when you're moving and you're gunning and you're in the heat of the action, check this out. So I'm working, right? I'm going to have to disable the camera because I don't want the wires to kind of flip up and down as I switch over. But so now if I want to go low hung mode, I can just go, I haven't done this in a while. Hang on 1 second. Oh yeah, so if I want to go to low hung mode, I just hold this button and now I'm in low hung mode. And I can still use the handle just like this. You see, without taking it off. Yeah, and now I'm in low hung mode. You see how easy that it was? And then now, if I want to go back to normal mode, I hold the button, swing it up, boom. Now I'm in back normal mode. And now I'm back to shooting again. So I don't even need to switch those handles because if you took the time to actually undo this bolt here and switch the handle, it's just too much work. And the majority of the time I'm in this mode. Now if the majority of the time you're shooting and you like to shoot the low angle, then yeah, maybe change to the other mode. But this is so easy. I'll show you again. I just hold this mode button. Now I swing down, let go of the mode button, and now I'm in low hung mode and I just hold this. And it just works great to get shots from the ground and moving it all about. So good. But just notice in this mode, you see how the Z-axis is stiff because I'm actually using it upside down. This is not how you're supposed to use it. You see how the springs aren't even working? Because they're upside down. The springs are not working, you see?
Oh.
That's why if you're in upside down mode and you want the springs to work, you have to flip it around. But I'm too lazy. I just need the Z-axis to do this for a little bit of the shots. And then I'll go back to my normal mode. Boom, now I'm back to this mode. And you see how this mode, now the Z handles are working again. So that's why you would want to flip it permanently if you do the low hung mode more.
So most of the time is that you need that when you are moving. Let's say if you need to follow a subject while they're running or walking, then that's what you need, right?
Yes, yeah. If you're in low hung mode and you're running, then you want to switch it around so the spring is actually working. But I like to run in this mode just like this, and it works just fine. In fact, let me demonstrate how good it works again by showing you guys the visual. Yes, let me hook it up to the camera so you can see live how it looks. I mean, that's the beauty of being able to do this live, right? You can actually see the camera in action. So here it is. So you can see right now, this is with the gimbal, right? So if I hold it myself without the Z handle and I walk, you can see how there's some shake to the motion. I don't know if you can tell, but the camera is obviously shaking. Now if I hold this, if I hold it by the handle and I move forward and back, you'll see instantly it's much smoother. Because basically the Z-axis is absorbing my walking motion. I'll do it again in a second. So now I'll switch over to just holding the handle. And there's a little bit of bumpiness. You might not be able to tell because the screen is a little bit small, but there is definitely bumpiness to it when I'm not using the handle. Oh, and also you notice how sometimes I'm using half handle. This helps too, because if I don't want to use the handle the whole time, like, so this is the handle. Sometimes I want to be more precise, or I want to be able to hold the button, right? Because notice if I'm using this, I can't hold the button. And you see when I spin around, the camera follows, right? You notice that?
Yeah.
If I spin around, the camera follows. Now, if I want to use the handle, I can actually hold the button. When I hold the button, the camera doesn't follow when I spin the handle, right? Because the camera is isolated in space. See that? So I can still use the button functionally well when I have this handle installed, which is why I like so much, because I just hold the handle and I still have access to my button here. Whereas if I use the cheaper one, if I use the DH04, I can't use it, because you can see how, even on this picture, you see how the DH04, when you install it, it's so close up to here that you don't have much of a grip between this and this button. And that's very important, because this button is your function button. Whether you use it to reset your camera, whether you turn it from selfie to front-facing camera, or whether you use it for like free access stabilization, that button is important. And to be able to use it while the handle is installed is very important. So let me show you how I switch from this mode to the upside down mode in live, right? So here, I want to go upside down, boom, hold the button. Now I'm upside down, boom. Now I get footage again. You see how that? Pretty cool, right? From low angle, pointing up. Yes, so smooth gimbal motion. You see that? Beautiful motion, right? But you notice the Z-axis isn't really working, right? It's not helping to absorb the shock.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No, but it's quick, right? Because now I can go back to my normal mode, just like that, boom. And now if I go back to the Z handle, it's absorbing the shock. I can run and see how stable the footage is. That is just phenomenal. And then I can focus it, boom, stable. Isn't that cool? Now, if you're moving around a lot, I should actually highlight the product that we've been talking about. So now if you're moving around a lot, this is actually a cool product to check out too. This is the Spider.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'll actually click to the Spider product right now. So the Spider is cool because it's actually this little plate right here. This metal plate right here. Maybe I can zoom in so you guys can.
Okay.
Yeah. So all it is this plate. But the secret thing about it is that it holds really well. And basically all it is this little ring here. That's all this plate does. But it's so genius because I can open these legs up, let this rest on my stomach, right? And I use this. Oh, this is so good. Put this over myself, and look at this. I attach this to this little hook right here. Boom. Now, I can pretty much just let go. Well, based on the adjustment, right now it's not adjusted for my height, but I can just let go of this, and look at that. I'm freaking the Terminator, right? I can just, I need to change this length a little bit. Maybe I should do this. Yeah. So if I do this, it's the right height for me again, right? So I can walk around, I can stabilize my footage, and you see how, let me see, change this mode here. It still works really well, and the handles on the side now acts as another leverage point for me to hold. So I can hold this handle. The Z-axis is not working in this mode, by the way. This one is just like me resting on my stomach. But you know, you're recording the whole day. This is nice to be able to kind of get this footage right here, just like this. And you can just even relax and get nice panning motion. Look at that. Beautiful.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know how that position looks. It just, no, this is beyond PG-13.
All right, my bad. But yeah, I mean, this is what we're talking about right here is the Spider, right? The Spider is one add-on, also by Digital Photo, that allows you to just basically hook this strap onto your gimbal. Boom, so simple, so elegant, but now you can relax your arms and you're capturing really stable footage. Or even if you're not capturing footage, like if you're at an event and you just want to relax and there's no place to put the gimbal down, you just do this. And it's just relaxing. And it does take the load off your arms because just trust me, holding this for 8 hours is just too much. Too much. And again, you see how this button is so important? I have access to it even with this handle. I can just hold one hand with the handle, one hand here, and if I want to center the camera, double tap, boom, now it's center again. This button is so important. So that's why when you're using this cheap one, the DH04, and you can't really have access to this button, I think that's just a no-no, right? That just it's a deal killer for me. That's why $80, $180, I just rather spend $100 more to get this.
As a cheapskate I am, I will pay the $100.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's so obvious. I don't even know why anyone would buy this unless they didn't know that the Aries Z existed. But just looking at the two, especially after watching this video, you guys really have no excuse to not make this mistake.
Would that be a reason because for the DH04,
Yeah.
it has a big spring than the Aries Z Axis? I mean, some people would think, bigger spring is probably better, and they probably choose that one over.
Possibly. The DH04 does have two spring options. So it has the one that's pre-installed, and it even comes with accessory package that has additional springs that I think might have more tension. Let me just see if these springs are more tension. Oh wow, they do have more springs. So they do have a variety of springs. So that might be the advantage, Jeremy. You're right. So you see how it has smaller springs, which actually has more tension. It's at the bigger one, and then it's got the one that are already pre-installed as well. So you have a lot.
Since they're open up, it's easy to change. While the Axis C is basically closed in, so I don't think you don't change your spring in there.
No, but to change a spring here, it's not as quick as you would imagine. You still need to get an Allen wrench to undo these 4 bolts here to get access to the spring. Yeah, it's not easy to change out. But
some people might want the customization of it. They want something else, and that's why they get the DH04.
Well, yes, I think you have a point there. Customization is better. But even if you can customize this to handle a heavier load, I don't think the plastic here is really robust enough to handle the heavier load. I just don't feel comfortable putting like an 8 or 9 or 10 pound camera and gimbal on these plastic hinges because these plastic is hollow. It doesn't feel like really high quality plastic either. Sorry, Digital Photo. I mean, I love your products, but you obviously make a really good Z-axis handle, but you also make a very cheap one. Honestly, I don't know why you have this as your product line, but this should just tell people to get this because this one is just so much better.
Every product has a different, quality line, and
yeah.
For someone maybe just get into the game and they don't want to spend too much money on it, and $80 is something that they can afford and spend, and I mean it works. Like you said, it works.
I agree.
Eventually, when they get more professional and realize that they need more, then they upgrade.
Yes.
When I said getting more professional, I mean getting more money as well. So then they upgrade. So every single product, every single brand has an entry-level product, right? And entry-level product obviously can't give you the professional feel and feature of it because it's entry level.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, good. Very.
I mean,
very
to be honest,
point.
if I was going to start doing video and got myself a gimbal and I need something like that, I'd probably go with $80 first because I never tried it. So I don't know if I like it or not. So
after you watch my video, you probably would.
Yeah, well, now I know.
Make this mistake.
So hopefully people would know that too. So
right.
And also, it's not that big a difference, only $100 difference, and it
looks better.
Yeah. It does.
So let's talk about why it's better again, right? The looks is number one. The handle feels better. The material is made of aluminum, so it's much more robust.
Yeah, that's what I don't like.
You don't like the aluminum?
I have an incident that a videographer using that to hit my lens.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a bad experience for me.
Yeah, that's
I don't know why
he
just like using one hand and swinging, and then I have my camera in my bag and the lens.
Yeah.
So 24-70 monsters and bam. Well, good thing is a good quality lens, but still, I mean, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So that was a bad experience for me. That's why
cool.
photographer and videographer can never get along.
Hey, I'm a videographer, but we're best buddies, right, Jeremy?
But we don't work together. That's why.
We do.
No, not that type of work. Like work in an event. Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
But I'm okay now.
Yeah. I'm careful. Plus, When I work around you, I might get the DH04 and use this instead, so it's plastic. So when I hit your lens, I'll hit it a couple of times, but don't
Don't
worry,
worry
it
about
won't
it.
crack. Yeah.
I have a small lens right now,
Okay.
so it won't hit it.
Oh,
I don't use big lens.
I'll aim for it and I'll hit it with my DH04. But don't worry, it's plastic.
What?
It's plastic. It's fine, right?
No,
Okay, fine. Then I'll use my Era Z and I won't hit your
I'll
lens.
hit you back.
I'll stab you.
I'll stab you back.
Let's not do that.
That's what we do.
All right. Well, so just recap again. The Era Z, right? The handle's better. The material's aluminum. The spring looks better because it's hidden. The profile here is thinner so that you have your room to use the button still. And also the tightening mechanism here is nice because it's just one screw to tighten it and everything just centers itself. You don't have to worry about balancing 4 screws as you tighten it together. And
So I don't have a question.
Yeah.
Now, for the box, it showed in one of the pictures that on both handle, one actually put a microphone on it and one put LED.
Yes.
Do you suggest doing that, or you want to mount that back onto the camera instead?
I would mount it on the handle because you have less weight on the gimbal itself, right?
Would that lighting direction be different though if you just down there and it's not the camera angle?
To be honest, when I'm using my gimbal, I'm run and gun. I don't really care about lighting. I just get a fast lens and get ambient light because there's too much to worry about. I'm worrying about the smooth motion, right? I'm worried about the
Well, let's
the
say if you're
panning
in a
and
wedding,
zooming.
right, and
Yeah.
they're in the dance floor. You know how when
Yeah.
they do the first dance, it's always kind of turn off all the lightings, and
Yeah.
you really need your lighting for your videos, right?
I hope my other videographer, as my team, has set up the video lighting
Like a hot
for
light.
that. Yeah.
Like a spotlight.
Right,
Okay.
because when you're a videographer, this is not your only video camera. It has to be your creative one, and it's your second or third one. It's probably better to be your third one. You should have at least one main cameraman doing stable tripod shot to make sure to get the safe shot. And if you're safe, you want to have another tripod camera to get the safe shot. Then this is your third one. This is your creative shot. This is the one you cut in and out and get great shots. If you are fantastic that day, you're flying high and you're making great shots with your gimbal, then you can screw the tripod shots. But you can't always guarantee this one to get good footage because
So
it's
backups.
yeah, this is a good backup. So
Okay.
yeah, that's why it's not the primary shot. So but yeah, but nowadays the gimbals are starting to work really well. Plus now you have the stabilization. I'm finding that more and more and more of my shots are coming from the gimbal and less from the tripods. And this allows me to get stable shots, right? Because before, when you do edits, you don't want to overuse motion. Although motion looks nice, but every clip you have like motion. It's overdone. Stable shots are good because it adds refreshness to your video. It's very classy, right? And then you have some panning motion here and there, or some zoom in and zoom out motion once in a while.
It's the smooth forward motion.
Yeah.
At one point, I got a story to tell.
Yeah.
I never really believed in the gimbal kind of thing. Because in the beginning, you know, the relationship we have with videographers, that hey, dude, you guys have so much gear. You got like free tripod and what's that slider thing called? Slider, and then gimbal, everything like.
Yeah.
You know, when you go in a hotel room, if the clients are kind of like being good, and most of the hotel room like they're not that big unless they're like getting penthouse at one,
Right.
And oh my gosh, I don't even know where to move when you have like
all the
sometimes
videographers' equipment, right?
They put at least 2 videographers in there.
Yes.
So I never get experience working with videographers. And we take turns.
Yeah.
But at the same time, sometimes you don't afford to able to take turns because they have a really tight schedule.
Yes.
So there's no way we can take turns. There's no time. So a lot of drama there. So never liked it. And then I went to Italy one time and do a project. And we have an Italian videographer doing our behind the scenes video for us. He has no big equipment, no stabilizer, no gimbal, nothing.
Yep.
So I said, and he's doing the panning shot. I was like, is it gonna be like, stable? Is it gonna be, I was like, oh, don't worry, I'm gonna digitally, enhance it, and it's fine.
How did it turn out?
No, good.
Oh.
No, it's just that, you know what? I was planning to give it to the vendors to
Yeah.
use as a promotional video, and the vendors, to be honest, he's an artist. Okay, his video is really artistic, but it's there's artistic and then it's commercialized, right?
Right.
It's not commercial. It's art,
Yeah, so it looks
but
nice and pretty, but nothing
it looks
is
nice. It's
formal.
not formal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was like, okay, yeah, probably a gimbal, something stabilized will be good for the video next time.
So one tip I have for that is when you're using a gimbal, don't always be moving around. So sometimes just stay still and you can get good shots just like this, right? And that's totally fine. Or just kind of standardize it. And because the gimbal now, if I'm resting this on my chest with the spider here, and I center this, or I can point this up just a little bit, and that's pretty stable. And I can just control my
No,
breathing
that
and get a
videographer
stable
that
shot.
work with the Italian videographer, he has a different style. Like he just do clips and it just move. The whole video moves so fast.
Yeah.
But I want people to see the product, like the camera I'm holding, like what I'm doing, and
Ah,
those only
yes.
like maybe a second, and then it's just moved to everything.
Right.
It's not long enough for people to see like what are you holding, like what you doing. So
Right.
it's
Right.
like I said, it's like there's a really cool transition, but
Yep.
it's not commercial.
Right. Yeah, videography has a fineness to it, and everyone has their own way to do videography. And there's so many ways to capture your footage. And I think having a gimbal as well as a Z-axis to stabilize your footage is a must to be competitive
But then again,
today.
here's the dilemma. It's kind of like how I think earlier when we talked about LED light,
Yeah.
I have to go to area that is not allowed photography. Same
What?
thing goes here.
Say again?
I have to go to location that do not allow photography.
Ah, yes.
So imagine you bring all this gear in there and
Yes.
do behind the scenes video. Get kicked out right away.
No, for
Same
those,
thing.
I use this, my cell phone. And it works really well. I shot a full wedding on my 11 Pro Max. Check it out on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/utechbia. I shot a whole wedding, 12 hours with my 11 Pro Max. Really good, really good. As a wedding guest, but I talked to the videographers and the photographers and said, hey, do you mind if I shoot with my iPhone? I'm really good friends with the groom and the bride, and I promise to not get in your way because I'm a photographer, a wedding photographer, and I know what to look out for.
Oh
So they're
man,
cool.
I thought you were gonna do that TikTok guy thing.
No, heck no, heck no. Hey, Brian Groom, let me get a shot of you. Photographer, do you mind? I know you only have 5 minutes, but let me have 4 minutes to take this shot. All right, I'm done. You got 30 seconds.
That
Go get your shot.
really bad.
I
The
know.
whole industry is on that guy right now. I'm telling you.
I know.
But he got
No,
popular though. Then that's not fair.
that's not cool. I mean, life is not fair, right? Unfortunately, stuff like that happens, but we as photographer and videographers in the industry, we respect each other. And I don't know about other people, but myself and you, I know we're on the same page. And that's why we tend to work well together, as well as I've never had problems working with any other vendors for that reason, because I always treat their priority first, just making sure that I have enough time to get my shot, because at the end of the day, my shot is for the bride and groom anyway, as well as their shot is for the bride and groom anyway. So if we're all on the same team, we don't need to fight. We need to work together so that we get good shots
No,
for the
no.
bride
I
and groom.
mean, within the pro industry,
Yeah.
I think there's hidden rules and gray area that we followed.
Yes.
We don't talk about it, but we follow.
Yeah.
But because photography and video right now it's just so accessible by everyone. People who are not in the industry thought that, oh, your job is easy. I can see I could do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I work with a videographer who do the DJI drone, right?
Yep.
So he do that thing, and then somehow within a gas got another DJI same model flying
what?
almost hit this drone.
Dude, yeah.
He
As
was
a
so
guest,
mad. He was so mad. He said, I was on a contract. No one else supposed to have a drone doing the wedding except me.
yeah.
But then, the brides are going to probably sign it, but never really execute it,
Or even realize it, and then the guests don't realize it either, right? But as a guest, it's actually your responsibility to be a guest.
Yeah, you tell them that.
You
You think they'll follow? You
You
think
have to-
they'll follow?
to be honest, they do. If you talk to them nicely, right?
How many times you being a wedding photographer and then you have Uncle Bob out there and try to outbeat you with better shot and in front of you, better position?
I've had it before, but I just talk to them. right? I'm not unreasonable either. I say you can get your shots. I would love for you to get shots too because you have a nice camera and you might have more creative angles than I do. But if you don't mind, can I get the main angle? Because my job, I'm being paid for this and I need to make sure I get the great, perfect shots for the bride and groom. And they understand me. As long as you communicate, they're human beings. But if you're being rude to them, they're not.
That's not a communication. It's like, it's a moment. While the bride and groom walking down the aisle, right? They step in front of you.
Okay, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, but I have to
or doing a kiss shot while you get a perfect position with your 7-200, and then like 3 or 4 people standing in front of it.
Yes, and same thing with the bouquet and garter toss too. So what I do is right when I come into the wedding day, I kind of identify Uncle Bob right away. And I kind of talk to him as the day unfolds so that during the ceremony, he or she knows what's going on and not to get my way. And the hardest thing is the bouquet and garter toss because that one, more Uncle Bob show up out of nowhere because they're using their cell phones. And that one, unfortunately, I got a couple of them where I would like to go far and get a wide shot as they go.
That one I always go with ultra wide to stay close.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And then nowadays, that's all I do. Ultra wide, stay close. But in the beginning, I did wide shot. And guess who crossed my path the first time? It wasn't the guest. It was the caterer.
What?
Yes. I was waiting for the bouquet to get tossed. The freaking caterer walked by me. Right.
Wait, which one are we talking about her?
This was an American restaurant. It was one of the nice restaurants.
It happened to be a Chinese restaurant. If you ever have Chinese banquet, right?
Yeah.
Those waiter, they don't care.
No.
When they have just, bringing a dish,
I know.
They don't care if it's any kind of thing happening. Or say, it's cake cutting.
Yes.
And then they bring the fish walking over. Like, come on, man, what the hell?
Okay, so you have to understand the cultural difference, right? American people or American culture is very much we're all in it together. We help each other, more or less. Whereas Asian culture, they're like, my business, I do myself. Yes, I need to bring food out. That's all I do. I don't care about you. You do your job. You move around me. I was like, come on, we have to work together. But yes, I expect that at the Asian restaurants. So that's what Asian restaurant, I'm close, ultra wide. But at American restaurant, oh!
What did you drop?
I dropped this.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. $80. As long as I didn't drop this, I'm good. This, just kind of a quick riddle. How much do you think all this costs right now? Quick summary.
That's 180. I think the roller is what, around 500. So $600 ish.
I forgot about the camera and the lens.
Not including the camera. I don't even know what camera you have up there. I can't see it.
Canon M50.
I don't know about the price. I never know about the price on it. Canon stuff.
So just so you guys know, Canon M50, it's about $500 without the lens. This is a 16 to 35 f2 throughout the whole
that's a good lens.
length.
That's a good lens.
And this lens is about $1,200 to $1,500 depending on if it's a Mark 1, Mark 2, or Mark 3. And then you got the gimbal, that's about $600. And then you got the Aries Z handle here, that's about another $180. And then you got the Spider here, which we've been talking about quite a bit. This is the Spider holster.
That's like $40.
Yeah, $47. Yeah, you can see down below, down the link below. $41. I like this because it's so easy to like hold your camera, and then if you don't need it, you just kind of unattach it, and then you're free. You can put this down anywhere and go eat.
What does that Terminator thing do?
The Terminator? The Terminator is very similar to this, but the Terminator adds another handle to hold.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see it now.
Since I already have the Z-axis, the Aries Z, I don't need the Terminator. I just want the Spider. So I'm already using this to hold, right? Because if you don't have the Terminator, holding it in the center right here, it's kind of awkward. So that's why the Terminator has the handle right here, which is kind of cool. But yeah, this is it right here, man. This is the Aries Z, $180. Good quality aluminum, very refined handle, nice grip here. Good quality springs, very low profile grip here so that you have access to your handle so you can access this button. Very important to hold this button so you can flip around, do your stuff. And then you can access to your control panel here. When you have this grip, you can control the camera left and right here. Very easy to control this button right here. And installation is very easy too because it's just one bolt here, just screw it in and everything aligns perfectly.
See, this is why I always felt that videographer has better weapons.
Yes, they do.
Especially when they fight with photographer.
Yeah.
Bam!
I mean, but all these weapons make videographers gotta be buff, right? Because all this equipment is heavy. And when my wife was doing this with me, we end up shooting more photos than video because we didn't take on many video jobs because every time we think about it, it's just a lot of work, a lot of heavy lifting. So
I foresee that long time ago.
Yeah.
Even though back in school I do study video editing and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But once I got out, and I know for a fact that I don't want to do video.
Yeah.
It's too much stuff going on.
I mean, video has its own creativity. The one thing that I like when you're shooting a wedding with video is that you're passive. If you have a good photographer doing the photographer's job, as a videographer, you can actually just chill and get the action from behind the scene. Now, there's parts of the days where you want to do interviews, or you might want to do some kind of motion with them as they walk, and you kind of direct them a little bit. But honestly, if you have a good photographer and they already direct those shots as they take the photo, you can get your footage with them. So, videographers have an easier day on the wedding day.
I'm a posing photographer, so
yeah. So
but one thing I don't get though, I see videographers when I do group picture inside a church, they stand next to me.
Yes.
It's a group picture.
Yes.
I don't know why I get those footage.
Those footage helps because during the montage of all the footage, it's nice to get a footage pan of like all the people, right? And having them say something.
Yeah, I mean, you only need that maybe 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I was doing group picture for a whole half an hour, and he stood next to me and do the whole half an hour.
And the reason for that is because they have a team of 2 other videographers already getting all the B-rolls. So they're just there just to get some spontaneous moment if the bride and groom did something goofy. And they're there to capture it. So, I mean, you have resources as a videography team, right? So you can also do other things, but since the bride and groom is there, I think as a videographer team, at least one videographer should always be watching the bride and groom. And when you're doing portraits, guess where the bride and groom are? They're with you. Family photos or portraits. So that's why I still want one videographer right next to the photographer, even though it annoys you. I'm sorry, but our job is also to get footage of what is it called? Whatever spontaneous moment happens, right? If they do a kiss or he holds her up or whatever, it's still a moment, and we want to be there to capture it. So sorry to be in your way, Mr. Photographer.
It's always a fight. I always feel a little because I never bring a lot of people on a wedding.
Yeah.
Just me and one more person, and most of we often have like 3 to 5 people.
Yes, videography team is bigger, unfortunately, and you know
and
why?
And then when there's a couple of fight, I mean, when we try to store our equipment in a certain area, we always have no room space.
Yeah, I agree that.
And outlet charging, oh my God, it's a fight scene.
Because we have batteries that we need to charge for our gimbal, for our sliders, for multiple cameras, for our LED lights, microphones. Videographers have a lot of equipment.
That's why I kind of gave up. At first, I'm more like a documentary type.
Yeah, right.
I'm still documentary type, but then I do a lot. Like I use 2470, 7200 back then, just to do the typical, try to capture whatever happened.
Right.
And then later on, I was like, you know what? Forget about this. I'm just have my 50 or 35 prime.
Yeah.
Walking around.
Yes.
If I get a shot, I get a shot. If I don't get a shot, I don't get a shot.
Right.
It's more like I become Uncle Bob. I hire Uncle Bob.
But that's actually more artistic.
But
because,
picture, it's more artistic.
Yeah, and I would say as you get more seasoned into the business, you have to do that to keep your creative juice going. Otherwise, everything is cookie cutter and it's work. Yeah.
That's why later on I just kind of slow down and then either hire another not a second shooter, more like a second serious shooter that he does become the main shooter.
You are the creative.
And I become the second shooter that I could do whatever I want during the wedding.
Yes. Yeah.
It's more fun that way.
Yeah. In fact, in the very beginning, they hired me for that, and I didn't understand why. a professional seasoned photographer would want me to get the main shots. And
You
then I
know who started
realized,
that, Frank?
no.
Joe Bilsing.
Ah.
Joe Bilsing is one of the high. I think he shot so many celebrity weddings.
Mm-hmm.
If you go, if you find this guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he's always a second shooter. He's not. He don't do the typical shot. Don't ever ask Joe to do the group shots or all the typical shot.
Mm-hmm.
He just walking around his camera and get the shot that he wants, and
Right.
that's what you hire him for.
Yes. I mean, at the end of the day, you just need 100 really good photos to document the day, and that's money because that's all you
That's
need
it.
for an album.
Yeah,
People don't realize that. But
that's it.
back in the days when you're doing film photography, you only get like 400 shots, and you better get your 100 within those
Oh
400
yeah.
shots, right? It's
Well,
much more
depends.
difficult.
If you're shooting the Indian wedding, that's
Yeah.
different.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
So
Yeah, 'cause
my friend,
that's like a 14
my,
hour
my
day.
friend is a Indian
Yeah.
photographer.
Uh-huh.
He only shoots JPEG. He doesn't even shoot RAW. He says
There's
no
just too
point shooting
many
RAW.
photos.
It's a 5 day of wedding,
Yeah.
and
That's
I asked,
crazy.
so how many pictures you actually deliver to your clients? So imagine like 3 hours to 5 hours a day there, and he have to shot every single thing. Someone moves, something happens. So it's around 4,000 or 5,000 pictures a day, and that's 5 days. So I was like, well, that's like what, five. I said more like 25,000 pictures delivered to the clients.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, do they even look at the pictures? Like, not really. I
Well,
was like, what's the point?
you know, the funny thing is, some brides look at the pictures and some brides never look at the picture. And myself and my wife is the same thing. We have never watched our wedding video and we've never looked at our wedding photos ever. We know they're there and we have in our mind which one we picked because we went to the editing booth to help pick out the ones we edit. But all we look at is the album and the video. The video we don't even look at. We let our families and friends watch. We never watch it. So and then they're not as critical as we are. So they just enjoy it because it's this is nice. That's it. So but there's some brides that are very particular because it's the most important thing in their life and they want to watch it. So you never know,
Yeah,
but
some
you
brides are
always
like
have
that.
you always have to be prepared for whatever.
But then even though they're
situation.
really cautious about it, the photo
Yep.
and the album is still number one because
Yeah.
they could basically have the album flip anytime they want. Well, for the video, either they have to put in DVD drive back then or they have to put in a thumb drive, open a computer, which is much more trouble for them to watch. They
Right.
probably watch it for the first month or so, and then later on the next 10 year, they
Right.
will never look at the video ever again.
Yeah.
But the wedding
Exactly.
albums, they put it on the table and then their friends and family came over, people will watch that, but not the video.
Yep. Agreed. So I thought of one thing that I should point out as videographers, and you mentioned why there's always so many videographer versus photographer. There might be just two
Because
photographers.
you need different angle and put
Yes.
it.
Yeah, and you can't really get cut off because whoa, hang on, selfie mode. Oh shoot, it's a telephoto. I love the gimbal because I can just change the angle and get selfies. Hi, I'm vlogging. Can you imagine vlogging with this big camera? Hi guys. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh shoot, it's tangling my wire up. Hang on, let me turn this around. But yeah, sorry, I got distracted because this is too fun to play with. But yeah, videographers, they can't get their shots really interrupted because they can't move around like photographers. And as our delivery media, we have to have continuous footage. Now, you could talk about a highlight video. That's much easier because you can just cut the heck out of it and just get the good footage.
Right.
But if you're talking about like a 1 hour video, then you want to have like the vows uninterrupted or like the cake cutting uninterrupted. So
Have you ever done the same day edit?
I tried, but it was too stressful for me because my team is just me and my wife.
Like,
It's
that's
easy.
crazy.
It's easy. It's actually easy if you are set up for it. Because what you do is you already have the video made. You just have empty spots for drop-ins.
Oh.
So you know that for the same day edit, we have 15 shots. We have one shot getting ready, one shot of the bride putting on her dress, one shot of the first look, one shot of the first kiss, one shot of so-and-so, one shot of so-and-so, and then you just tell the videographers, once you capture it, you give it to your videographers as the editors, because you have a team of editor and a team of shooters, and you get those shots.
But you know they
boom,
don't
boom,
charge
boom.
a lot for that, right?
No, they can't because it has to be competitive nowadays.
So that's what I'm saying. Okay, so 5 people
Yep.
getting money less than a photographer and then
Yeah.
split between 5. How much are you money making with all that? You have so many gears and you actually thinking even more time than a photographer to the edit. Is it really worth
Videography,
it?
videographers don't make as much as photographers. And they do have to split up the cost because there's more people on the team. But it's a little bit easier job because you have more on the team, so you have less responsibility per person. So it's just you pick your poison. Do you want to be a photographer or a videographer? So I would,
Both the ego is stressful.
yeah. Well, I think videographers, yeah,
It's
yeah,
actually harder for you to go artistic on videographer because
yeah,
either you go documentary or artistic, you still need the gears.
yeah,
While being a photographer, if you want to go artistic, you can have less gears
yeah,
if you want.
yeah.
So that's why I choose photographer.
Yes. Sorry, I got distracted because someone just messaged me on Facebook. We got some of the manufacturer just contacted me, digital photo, just say, hey, they're watching us on YouTube and they said this video is pretty cool. So hey, digital photo, just a shout out for you guys. I bought this with my own money, but if you want to sponsor me and give me some cool gear, let me know. But I bought this just for full disclosure, everybody. I bought this with my own money because I had an important gig that I was shooting a 5-day event. It was called the OSI Soft Users Conference back in 2019. And I wanted to run and gun the whole day. And I needed something like this to get stabilized footage, to do these panning shots, to go from low to high shots like this, or to flip and do like upside down shots and pan up like this. Oh man. Shots like this, money. And I needed something to help me handle this the whole day. So I bought this. This is a Aris Z handle. Totally loved it. And after I bought this, I actually was curious, like, why did they have 2 items, right? So they actually have a DH04, which is this, which is by Digital Photo 2. So I wanted to try it out to see, did I make the right decision? And I actually did. I did. But I bought this just so I knew that I made the right decision. But I was lazy. I bought this over a year ago and I haven't returned it. So I figured, well, let's just make a video to compare it so that people know that this is what you would avoid buying unless your budget is really tight and you only have $80. Then this works, guys. This is good. This works. It does the job. It's just, remember, the handle here, the handle right here is a little bit big. So when this part is big, you don't have the grip here to control your button on your gimbal as well. And also, the material on this one is made of plastic versus this one is made of aluminum. Plus this is just bigger looking, and you know.
So is it lighter?
It's lighter. Yeah, this is lighter. Yeah, that's advantage. I forgot about that. This is lighter. Good call, Jeremy. You're good at squeezing out the advantage on these little things. But you're right. This thing is lighter. But the handle is not as comfy gripping as these because these are nice grippy handles. I like this a lot.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, and then the springs, this actually makes a little bit of squeaky noise when you use it.
Maybe if we change to a different spring, it won't.
Yeah, probably. But this one, the springs are nice, and I didn't have to worry about changing the springs. I like these, and the springs are good. And
but you know, to be honest, most of those equipment's kind of costly, and 180 for this is not that bad.
No brainer. No brainer. Yeah, because videography equipment is expensive. Like this gimbal is like $600, $650 I believe. So if you're spending another $80 for the Z handle, might as well spend another $180.
Yeah, when you have more stable and smooth footage, you don't have to do too many in post. That saves you a lot of time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's totally worth $100.
Oh yeah, totally worth the $100 without question. What else I want to say about the handles? Oh yeah, installation. See, with this one, when you install it, you need to screw in 4 screws, and you need to screw them all in around the same kind of time to make sure it's balanced. Otherwise, this piece will fall in crooked and lopsided. Now, when you compare that with the Z axis, the Aris Z, this one is just 1 screw right here. It's kind of hard to see unless I zoom in, right?
Yeah,
it's just 1 screw right here, and when you push it in, it pushes a plate against its handle, and then it just kind of, you can't go wrong. It's just one screw. It's really easy to install. So the Aries Z wins by a long shot, guys. If you're getting a Z-axis handle, and I highly recommend it because look at this. I can get really stable motion. In fact, let me actually go to this angle here so you can see. Now, if I'm holding the camera, the gimbal without the Z-axis, just by itself right here, and I'm moving forward, you can see there's a little shake on the footage.
Yeah.
In fact, if I zoom in, you can see the shake even more, right? Because when you zoom in, you can see the shake. Now, simple as this. Now I'm holding the Z-axis. I can run, and it stabilizes my motion, right? But if I walk really carefully, much smoother, much smoother. Yes, because the Z-axis basically is the fourth axis to a 3-axis stabilizer. You just stabilize one additional axis. And if I wanted to use the buttons, I could always go back here, and now this handle helps me, and I can still use the button here. Because this button is great for centralizing the shot, or if I want to move around and not have to get the camera follow, because normally the camera will follow. Or if I want to center the camera, double click that button. Or if I want to go low hung shot, hold the button. Now I'm in low hung shot, right? And I can get shots like this, down low.
Yep.
And then if I want to go back, hold the button, boom. Now I'm back to normal angle. Very cool to use. Handle makes so much of a difference. Now if you're using this the whole day, you want to make sure you get the spider. This is the spider right here. Boom. See the spider? All it is this metal bracket right here. It's a really good metal bracket. But the main component of it is the genius idea of this strap here. Because this strap saved my arms. Literally. All I do is I get this hook it onto the Z-axis right here, or rather the spider mount right here. Boom. And then now, let me take this down so it doesn't get in the way. But now, I'm hands-free. I can relax and get footage. See? Very nice footage. And I can even just get, like stable footage like this. Stable.
Yeah, you won't do that.
Or if I'm carrying, did you know I was actually carrying my cameras too, because they actually wanted me to get video and camera at the same time? Do you know how I did it? I had this, plus I had my vest to get photos. Oh shoot, I should show you this. Hang on. Let me show you my full setup. You're gonna crack up. Because
your back is really bad when you get old.
Oh yes. So, as you guys all know, I have this. This is my host of all my lenses. Okay? So
I never use those.
yes. So here's all my lenses. And then this, oh my gosh, this brings back so much memory of that day, because that day was so crazy. I had this, okay? And then my cameras, I have 2 cameras. Each camera, let me actually throw on the lens real quick on this camera. Hang on, I'll be right back. Give me 30 seconds. I'm gonna pop a lens onto this camera.
So David's gonna show us that how he slowly healed himself with his gears. So let's stay tuned and see how he killed himself.
So this is my camera, right? I know I'm not in focus, right? So this is my camera, boom. Holster on the side, and I have 2 of them. I just don't have the other one right now because it's actually using to record me, but the other one goes in this holster, right? And then I got this strapped to my arm here, and then, so now I'm running around gunning like this. So this is capturing video, and when I need to take photos, boom, taking photos, boom, capturing video at the same time, photos, video, photo, zoom in, zoom there, photo. How awesome is that? And then host there, and then when I long lens, right here, this other camera, boom, long lens, wide lens, boom, wide lens, boom, got it. Video, still rolling. That's how I roll, man. I was like a freaking Terminator at that event. So
guys, this is how gas will kill you.
Wide angle, close up. This does it all. This does it all.
Oh,
and now my back is, yeah. Now let me take all this off because my back is, I'm getting old. I'm too old for that now. But
I'm glad that you can't semi-retire.
well, I'm semi-retired thanks to you, Jeremy, because now we get to do these great videos and have fun doing it and not have to shoot all the time. So let me take this off. And I think we're kind of close to our full review of the product.
I think so too.
Do you want to wrap it up with any additional comments, Jeremy?
Yeah, I think I mean I know you personally like the SoC, that's for sure. I mean I'm pretty sure I agree that's a better one. But you know, some people had to you know, now you see the video, you probably want to get this one too. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. I haven't really played with the 04. I mean, they might be used for certain people.
Yeah.
Which just cost less than $100, and then especially we haven't really tried. We played in the spring and whatnot, so who knows, man? Those could be an opportunity or another gear that used for different use for different people. So just saying.
You know what? I see your point, Jeremy, because digital photo is a long-lasting, established company. They're not going to make a product that doesn't sell. There's definitely a market for this, and we might not know it yet. So I don't want to do this injustice. Give me one moment, let me switch it to this, and let me actually use it to see how it works. Because I've used it, but I want to show it on camera. So one moment, all right? So as you can see, this is how we're going to remove this one. Oh, this is going to be very intrinsic. I hope I don't mess everything up while I'm doing this, guys. All right. Shoot. I'm nervous because I don't want to mess this up. Okay.
Why?
So,
it's only an arm.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I'm going to undo this one. Remember, just one bolt to hold this together, right? So I'm going to undo this.
Unscrewing is not a problem. I think when you put in the other one, that's the problem.
Yeah. The other one is going to be a pain. The other one is going to be a pain. You see, this handle comes out so easy. I should also mention there's a couple of, I should undo it. But there's other perks about this handle that I forgot to mention. Because if you notice, there's two holes here. They're actually 1/4 threads on the handles. So you can actually install little ball brackets, little tiny brackets. I'll show you guys in a minute. But first, let me focus on getting this task done. I'm sweating because I know this is going to be hard. Okay, so here's the DH04, guys. All right, here we go. Putting my trusty Ronin S on an $80 DH04.
Well, normally you don't put a camera on there before you install it.
That's right. But you know me.
You know what? That's only a $500 camera. So whatever you would job, that's fine.
But the lens, bro. The lens is $1,500.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, hey, I found a solution. If I put this handle down far enough, I still can grip it here. But when it's down far enough, I can't sit it. So you see how this stands will fall out so I can lay on a table? I want the springs to be above it. So if I want the springs above it, then I don't have the handle anymore. So let me just make it so that I can actually use the handle. But if I use the handle, then I can never rest this thing. You get my point? I can never rest it. It's important to rest it. Yeah, I have to rest it.
You're not allowed to rest.
No, I need to rest it. So that's why this has to go up here. Because I want to be able to rest this on the table. I have to. Yeah, and then once this is up here, I tighten not one, not two, not three, but 4 screws.
4.
And I have to make sure it's aligned properly. I'm pretty screwed. Yeah, I have to make sure it's aligned properly. So align it as properly as I can. So just like 1 screw at a time, and then just go a star pattern, right? 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and it kind of work yourself together. So that way, when you screw it together, everything is even as possible, so that it grips well, but not lopsided. And we're almost there, guys. Actually, the installation is not too bad, right? I mean, I'm doing it on camera with you guys, and it's actually working out pretty well. So, okay, it's almost installed. There we go. DH04 is installed.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. All right, and it can still sit, but you see how now I don't have access to my button? I can do this, but now it's uncomfortable to use this button here. But here we go. Here's the handle.
Well, that just tests out the stabilization and see.
Yeah. So again, now if I want to center this thing, I gotta go like this. Now it's centered. All right. So now, let me start with. Yeah, this is me walk forward, right? Ah, it's smooth.
It's good.
Yeah. Yeah. If you need this for one shot, it does the job.
Yeah.
Right. DH04.
It does the job.
And it's lighter. It's lighter.
So it's a give and take thing, you know. I mean, like you said, you have so many gears, and then you want something lighter for the whole day. Then that could be the choice. But then the only thing is you have to keep it on, not able to push the button.
Yes, I can't push the button. I could, but it's like it's so awkward.
But
It's
it's
like
just
it's
not
really
not
awkward.
easy.
Yeah, I have to push it with my pinky. If I wanted to still have this to rest, right? That's the most important point because you have to rest it, guys. You just have to. And I know you can't see my table right now, but the handles barely touch the ground. It doesn't touch the ground. That's the only way I can rest it on the tripod stand. And then if I do that, this has to go to the very top. And when it's at the top, I can't grip right here, and therefore I can't get access to this button very easy. So that's a disadvantage.
Just lay the whole thing ground like that, horizontally on the ground.
Yeah. Sorry, one more time?
Can you just lay that whole gimbal horizontally on the ground?
No.
No.
You can't because it just can't. If you ever use a gimbal, you cannot raise. You cannot.
See, you can tell that I never used one.
No, you cannot. Sorry, buddy. But
Okay.
yeah. Anyway.
But well, that's kind of proves
Yeah.
the point that there is still some use
Yep.
to that.
Yep.
And it's only $80.
Yes. And
So for some people that might be the solution.
yes, and these are cool
Just
too.
not you. Just not you.
These are cool too. You know what these are?
Something you put on the side.
Yes. So these, I'll highlight it on the category down here. These are called.
The
Oh, shoot.
Terminator.
No, they're not even that. I'll have to add these in one moment. But basically, what these do is you see the
Terminator
handles.
handstand.
No, these things are tiny. Let me actually bring it up on the screen so you guys can see. Because Jeremy doesn't know what I'm talking about. If Jeremy doesn't know, anyone that doesn't do video
Yeah, nobody
won't
knows.
know. Yes. So, let me open up a new tab from our live view. All right, so check this out. These are the D-Photo Mini, let me see, digital photo.
Bean grip.
Yes. Yes, you got it. Thank you, Jeremy. Bean grips. What? How come it's not coming up?
You actually get those with
The Terminator.
the Terminators and
Yeah.
also the universal L bracket too.
But how come the bean grip not showing up? Am I typing it wrong, Jeremy? If you look at my screen, am I typing it wrong? Where is the bean grips? Here, oh, it comes with other things.
Yeah, I don't think they sell it separately.
I bought it by itself.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't sell it separately anymore.
But
You
this
know what?
little
Why
piece.
don't you just tell us what are you using it for?
So what it's cool for is you see how the handles, either on the Z-axis Aries or the DH04, they have quarter 20s right here. So you can just put one end in here. And ta-da, now you have a quarter 20 to put other things. Like if you have an LED light, and you can position this any way you want. Because you open this thing, and you can position this up, down, anywhere you want. And you can put a cell phone here, you can put a light, you can put a battery, you can put a microphone.
There's no point.
Yeah. You put anything you want here. I don't have my light here, but you get the point. It's a quarter
I got a
20.
point.
Yeah.
I got a point.
But I want to add this product to the carousel so people can buy it. It's the Mini B.
You better do soon. Our time is almost up.
Our time is almost up. No, our time is up. All right, give me 30 seconds. Because this is the product I'm
29, 28, 27, 26, 20. What's after 26? 25, 24, 23, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, blah, 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 blah. Got it yet?
Right there. See, I purchased this on March 27, 2019. These so cute. Look at them. They're so cute.
Oh my God, don't make that stupid noise.
Why not? They're so cute. Oh, they're currently unavailable.
Oh,
'Cause now,
sorry, guys.
Yeah, now they only come if you buy like a Terminator
I
or
knew
other
it.
parts.
That's why they
Yeah.
don't come up
That's
because
what- we couldn't
you have
find
to
it.
buy it with it. Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, well, at least now we know, and we should just wrap up with talking just highlighting the Z handles, and that is it. So Jeremy, any last word? I know I've been talking a lot. I want to hear what you have to say about this.
Hey, I said my last word already, man. You asked me earlier. I said it already. I don't want to say it again.
Fine, I'll repeat Jeremy's last words.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say my like Jeremy's last word. I still have a long way to go.
Okay, so conclusions.
Thank you. It's better.
So, and then we had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. The Aries is a little bit heavier than DH04, but the Aries is ultimately my choice and my high recommendation if you're gonna get a dual handle Z-axis for your gimbal, because the Aries Z has aluminum body, so much more higher quality. It's a little bit heavier because of that. The springs are hidden. It looks nicer. The springs are more quiet. They're almost virtually silent. You have a nicer grip here. It's a nice plastic with some texture on it. And the frame is very thin. So because it's very thin, you have this whole area to put your grip on to hold the gimbal and still access the front button as well as the control joystick in the back. And for another $100, it's much better than a DH04. Now the DH04 is obviously $100 cheaper. It's also lightweight, so it's a lighter weight than the Air Z. So it actually makes a difference because when I switch over to the DH04, instantly I feel a lot less stress on my arms. Yeah, that saves a lot of weight. But the handles are not as nice. They still have a pattern, so you can grip it for sure because it's like a joystick and with some texture here. So you grip it really well, but it doesn't feel luxurious. And then the springs are obviously visible, and it just looks more contraption like versus this one is more streamlined. So if you're on a budget, this does the job. $80 is fine because as we tested it, it does what it's supposed to do, and that gives you extra Z-axis stabilization, converting your 3-axis gimbal to 4-axis. So it works great, but it just isn't as streamlined as the Air Z. So you have choices. You can buy whichever one you want. Links down below. Let us know if you have any questions. But that is pretty much in a nutshell this comparison. And the winner is Jeremy.
Air Z.
Air Z. Any questions? Let us know. But thank you so much for watching. We hope you stay healthy. We hope you stay safe. We hope you go out there, capture some
you have a good weekend.
Video. Have a great rest of your weekend.
If you're in Asia, then I hope you have a good Monday.
Yeah.
It's working hours ready, I know that.
And West Coast is the only time that are still on the weekend for the next 18 minutes. And then the weekend's over for the West Coast too.
Oh, darn it.
Yeah. So that wraps it up. We're going to end the stream now. Take care. Stay safe. Record lots of great videos. We'll see you guys later. Oh, if you want watch more of our video on Jeremy's channel, youtube.com/pixelstabbers. We talk photography, we talk about cameras, we talk about lenses, we talk about editing and the business of photography, how to find your own style, and a bunch of tutorials on that ladder. So anyway, take care, stay safe. We're signing out. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Signing out. All right, signing out on Facebook and signing